Thank you so much, sir, for coming here today and taking out time to share your experience and story with us. It's amazing.
It's a pleasure to join you, Krishna.
Also, to just give an overview about General Chacko, he is a retired Major General from the Indian Armed Forces. He served for 36 years in the Indian Army and is a Sena Medal awardee among the several recognitions that he has got during his tenure. Uh, he's also an ardent blogger, and it's amazing how I could relate to each and every article of yours. It's so connectable to our everyday lives. It's amazing the way you write.
Krishna, actually, when somebody talks about my writing, I actually become emotional because I write from my experiences. When people can connect to what I write, that means I connect to everyday life, and I'm quite happy about it. Thank you very much for the compliments.
Thank you, sir. I'd like to begin by asking you what motivated you to join the Indian Army.
Actually, there are two parts to it. As you grow up as an adolescent, uncertainty is your Facebook, face mark, benchmark. One wants a good job, one wants money, one wants good standing in the society, and one normally decides seeing what is around. But to me, I somehow was fascinated by the uniform that I saw very early in life. And I happened to go to Sainik school. So it was only a natural progression that I joined army. But having said that, while doing my 10th, 11th, I thought that I should not join army. I did my graduation in chemistry, thinking I will take something else. But I was too rooted to army and I was too conditioned to army. I had to go back to army.
That's amazing. That's amazing. How difficult is it to get an entry into the armed forces? Like, what qualities do they check while you apply for the army, and what do they check for you to get recommended?
I am told that late President Abdul Kalam also tried to get into army as an officer. He did not make it. I am also told that Amitabh Bachchan tried. He didn't get it. So there's so many heroes and scientists who tried to join army, and so many guys who tried to join army didn't get it and made to civil services. So there is something special that is required to join army. It may not be intellect alone. It's got nothing to do with bravery, nothing to do with scientific bent, but it has got everything to do with everything. To put it all, sum it up, it's all about having something called OLQ, officer-like qualities. This is actually a summation of a human being's existence, dignified existence in Earth, where you can take decision, you can lead people, and in times of crisis, you don't let down the people who trust you. I suppose that is what is the crux of joining, the quality required. But for that, you have to have basic qualification. For that, you have to have basic intelligence. And for that, you have to go through a certain amount of screening process. So, having proved all this, if you fall in merit, you are there. To say it is difficult, it is wrong. To say it is easy, it is wrong. You have to have the right mix. And if you're lucky, you join army.
Right. So, talking about getting into the army, how has your experience been in the Indian Army?
It could be good, bad, ugly, but mostly good, mostly very good, some bad, and some ugly. There were times when I felt, no, I made a wrong decision. But on the whole, when I look back, I wouldn't have been me without being in army. What I am today, in my life, entire evaluation, I wouldn't have been what I am if I had not been to army. It has given me everything. It has given me my identity. It has actually cast me in a mold, molded me. I think I'm very proud of having been to army. But yes, it may not give you the money, it may not give you the social visibility that stars get, and the society may not uh, recognize your worth. They only will regard you when you're a martyr. That is the way most countries are. But looking back, I have only good things to say about army.
That is so inspiring. You were a major general in the army, and to reach that position is definitely not a cakewalk. What do you think needs or requires to attain such a high position in the armed forces?
Krishna, actually, every department, every line has a way of screening people. But unfortunately, in the army, it's a very steep pyramid. Very steep pyramid. Many people think joining army you don't have to study. Right from the day I joined till the day I retired, I've been studying. I've been perpetually a student. Uh, there are so many screening examinations. There's so many courses. So all these courses and examination give you a thing called grade. So your grading is very important. So if you actually look at it in a general perspective, continued excellence in performance is what gives you the headway in army. And persistence. There are times when you make a mistake, but you persist. I've been very lucky. I have an excellent seniors, good team, and I became a major because of amazing seniors and an amazing team that I worked with.
That is nice. That is nice. That's so insightful indeed. Have you fought any wars being in the army?
Many people don't understand the concept of war. When we talk of war, the general public thinks there's only war when it is declared.
True.
But army is always on a war footing.
That is true.
So everything that we do is on war scale. One question that would come to many people is, when there is no war, what is the army doing?
That is true.
Preparing for war itself is warlike. So even if one doesn't fight a war, one is actually preparing for war. And that's equally bad or equally good, or equally tense and equally demanding. But I have served in Siachen, I've served in Kargil, I've served on the borders, I've served in counter-intelligence units, counter-insurgency units, and I've had my share of adrenaline rush. But I haven't been part of the official declared Kargil war. I have not been in Sri Lanka. I have not taken part in actual operations, but I've been part of the war machinery when the army was at war.
Right. And what are the conditions like when you go for a war? Like how difficult is it? What is your mental where does the mental peace go when you're
Oh, actually,
there?
that's a very good question. Actually, uh, when you're playing basketball and you're into the game, you're not actually looking at the crowd.
True.
You are not actually looking at your dress. You're not actually looking at the opponent dress. You're just playing that game. Exactly the same. When you are in field, creature comforts are minimal, very minimal. Whether it's an officer or Jawan, creature comforts are minimal. Unlike many senior civil officers who stay in bungalows and plush houses, even in forward areas, army lives in bungers. So does officers. We also live in bungers. But happiness and doesn't come from where you stay. It comes how you stay. So whether we have a shower, a big bed, a good lawn, it's immaterial. Creature comforts are very minimal, but mental peace is always there because we are at peace. We are at home doing what we are trained to do, and there's a lot of peace. Yes, tensions happen. One doesn't know what is going to happen, so that is there. But that's part of the game. That is how it is. That gives you the thrill, the adrenaline rush, the very part of existence in the army man is for war. So that is it. So you feel useful.
You're always on your foot. Right. Which has been the most challenging posting for you? Was it Siachen, or which place has been the most challenging place for you, and how did you handle it?
Actually, my most challenging assignment was not at all in the field.
Oh,
That will be very surprising. That will be very surprising because field, I commanded a unit in the Kargil sector when operations were continuing, and I had tremendous shortages of manpower, but that was not the most challenging. Because everybody there, we were down to about 60% of our strength. But everyone was, and we were required to do almost 7 times the work. But everyone was putting in 10 to 15 times the effort required. So it was not challenging at all. It was just going through. My most challenging assignment was in civil area when I was posted at a place called Mathura in UP. I had multiple appointments and I had civil administration also with me. That I suppose was the most challenging assignment. It was not fun at all. It was just not fun. It was not fun.
I can imagine. And how do you think can a lady have a gratifying career, an effective career in the armed forces?
If
How will the armed forces affect her?
if a lady can have a satisfying career as a civil doctor, if a lady can have a satisfying career as a scientist or a bureaucrat or a civil servant or a minister or a politician, I'm sure a lady can have a equally challenging and interesting career, gratifying career in army too. Actually, it depends upon the person who is taking it.
True, right?
Conditions just fall in place if you want to make it. It is not conditions that give you the happiness and the satisfaction. It is you, the person concerned, who makes it satisfying, who makes it gratifying, who makes it interesting. So anybody in any profession, even if it is army, air force, navy, civil, police, wanting to make the best out of the career and be happy with what one is doing, if that person does it from the heart, it will be beautiful. It's a beautiful experience. And I'm telling from first hand experience. If you leave it to others to decide whether you should be happy or not, even if you are in heaven, you may not be very happy.
That's true. That's true. And now that you are a retired Major General, how are you finding the civil life? How is it different from the army life? How do you spend your day? Like, are you working anywhere?
Firstly, I am not retired, I'm re-attired. I can change only my attire. I don't have a 8 to 5 job. I never had one. Um, I don't go to an office. I still get up at 4 in the morning. I read, I write. I am not into any under compulsions to do anything that others want me to do. I have earned a very adequate pension. I'm very happy with the money I get. But I have a lot of things to do. My bucket list is just started. So I have a lot of things to do. I want to publish a book. I want to write. So I am busy with those. And I also undertake certain social work. It is unfair to call social work. I am doing some selfish work. Selfish because I want to be happy doing helping people. I go around helping people. I try and teach people. I was involved in the flood relief personally, not as part of any machinery. So I enjoy doing what I do. I travel, I write, I talk to people, meet people, and I'm doing whatever I wanted to do, and I didn't have time to do. Now I'm doing it. Yeah, can you hear? Are we back? Yeah, we are back.
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay. So I was asking, why do you think is the defense forces not popular as popular in Kerala as it is in the north?
That's actually a very interesting question. Keralites have not been exposed to army and its actual operational rules anywhere. The first time they ever came close to the defense forces in action was during the previous flood.
True, true.
Whereas in the northern states, the border states like Punjab, Haryana, Rajasthan, uh, Himachal, JNK,
Northeast.
they see action and they actually understand the importance of army. And that is why Army, Navy, Air Force has a very high standing in society there. Kerala, unfortunately, has not been exposed to it. Therefore, Army will always remain low on the radar of selection for Kerala youngsters.
Yeah. Uh, what would you suggest or advise to the young generation who want to join the forces or who want to achieve success in life in general?
Firstly, anybody who wants to achieve success in life doesn't have to come to army. He or she can go anywhere. So one has to decide what is the parameter of success. One is what is one requiring to do in life. But yes, army has one very interesting thing that to give. It actually gets you down to the bare bones to know actually what is your inner strength. When you go for training, it is not the physical training that you uh, get. It's actually when you go through physical, very, very strenuous, continuous physical exercise or training, you actually are scratching the best out of you from within. You actually tap on your inner reserves. Then you know that yes, there is a very, very strong person inside, which even you did not know. So that is where it makes a difference. Those who want to join army, they can join army and be happy or not be happy. But yes, it gives you a way of life. I don't think I can change to be a full civilian ever. I'll die an army man. I'll die an army man. I lived in army man. I'll die an army man. That's the thing about army.
That is
But
great.
if you're looking for money, if you're looking for social standing in Kerala, if you're looking for a lot of bank balance, a lot of glamour, no way. Army is not the place to.
Yeah. Thank you so much, sir. Tell me something about what you write about, or like what all inspires you to write.
Uh, the last line was the most beautiful line. Everything inspires me to write. A good person, a good kind act, a bad person, a horrible act, happiness, sadness, expectations, success, failure, everything urges me to write. On the average, I write one article a day, but I end up publishing only maybe one in 10 days because, whatever one writes, my writing is all catharsis. I bring my heart out. Since I am a man of HR, human resources, I study man, human soul, human actions more. So most of my writing is based on human beings in a given setting. Since I've been in organization, I've been heading organizations. So I like to call it management related articles. I write on spirituality. I write on Atma and Paramatma. I don't write on religion. I write on travel and tourism. So if anyone goes to my blog, there must be about 30 odd genres which I have given.
Manifest.
Click
Are you
anyone you.
also planning to write a book or something?
I am. I am. Something is in my head. Actually, I've conceived something. Um, I want to sit down and write. I will. Uh, is still what do you call it in Hindi, mandhan. It is churning is going on. What form it should take, that's but I think I will write, and that is part of my. I already written a book. I don't know if you know that. I have written a book in poetry. I published about 20 odd poems. I publish it myself. Now I write prose. I will publish a book, something related to life, coming down from the abysmal lows of life and going to the highs of life. That's what I want to cover.
This is so inspiring and this is great. Can't wait for your book. I'm definitely reading that book.
Oh, I have one client. Yes,
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for giving me your time and sharing your experience and story.
thank you, Krishna. You made me feel worthy. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you, sir.
Bye and God bless you.
Thank you. Hope you have a nice day.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye bye.